Nobody has perfect feet. Nobody. We put so much pressure on them with all the walking, shopping, working out, not to mention expecting them to wear horrible footwear that looks great but could be more ergonomic. Sandals in the summer, wool socks in the winter, those dogs of ours are under assault all year and we have to care for them. They are family after all. Oh, for feet's sake by Barmaids can turn your little piggies from a source of shame to a claim to fame in 2 weeks or less. Those tootsies deserve better, so let Barmaids give them some love, boys and girls. Infused with tea tree oil and natural moisturizer, it's healing protection that your feet can feel. If your feet are really feeling strained, go to www.bar-maids.com for Barmaids, oh for feet's sake. Show those babies some love and attention because, let's be honest, you're never going to stop walking all over your feet.
Hi, my name is Tina and welcome to Knitting Blooms. Today is Saturday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. And this is episode number 47. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for checking it out if you're new, and if you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. It's going to be a knitting weekend, I think. I hope. Last night I spent about 2.5 hours cleaning the house, and it is completely clean. So I have no more chores that I have to do other than maybe 2 loads of laundry. I usually try and keep the house clean, do a little bit every night during the week. However, I got back to my exercise program this week, and I was working out 1.5 hours to 2 hours every night this week. Well, Thursday night I didn't, and last night I didn't because I was cleaning. I was getting my exercise cleaning the house, and I have run or walked 21 miles already this week. And if I can get myself off the couch after I finish recording and after being able to knit all day, I might do a little bit more today. Otherwise, I might just wait till tomorrow. My goal is to try and do at least 5 miles a day, possibly taking off 1 day during the week, or 1 day of exercise to have a completely rest day. This week I did 6 miles on Monday, 8 miles on Tuesday, 6 miles on Wednesday, and then I only did like about a mile, a little over a mile on Thursday, because I was feeling kind of weird. I think I had some heartburn or something. Just a moment. Cody? 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 Do not get up there. Cody, come over here. Cody? Cody? He's going to get up on the mantle, and I think, remember a couple weeks ago, he started pawing at the screen, and we don't want that to happen. Anyway, so Thursday, Cody? Hey! I need to, Cody! I need to have my flip camera in my hand so I can record. Somebody had PM'd me a couple weeks ago saying that, they imagined all the cats just sitting around sleeping while I record, and that's rarely the case. So I need to have my flip camera so I can record what I'm seeing while I'm recording for you. Because it gets a little crazy. Cody, just a moment, please. I am going to go and distract him from trying to get up there. Okay, sorry about that. So I was saying that Thursday I was having little issues. I've never really had heartburn before, but that's kind of what it felt like. And I don't think I really ate anything to cause me to have heartburn, but whatever. I was having some burning in my chest, and I don't think it was anything major, but I think it was just heartburn. So I just decided I am giving myself a pass on Thursday. from exercise. I had already done 21 miles, so that was plenty. I figured there was a few weeks in there that I hadn't run or walked, and I'm trying to do 1,000 miles in 2012. And if I started from the beginning of the year, I think I would have had to do like 2.5 miles a day every day in order to do it if I did that. Because I had a couple weeks off. There's my musical dryer. Because I had a couple weeks off, I think I'm up to like just over 3 miles a day. But I don't think that's going to be a problem because my idea is to do at least 5 miles a day with 1 day off. So that's 30 miles a week. That's like almost 10 miles more than I really have to do. So, yeah. Why did I get started talking about that? I don't know. That's why I haven't done any cleaning this week, because I've been spending so much time working out. So it was kind of nice just to get it all done in 1 day. And now I can just relax the rest of the weekend. I don't have, everything's clean. Oh, except for the kitchen floor. I do have to mop the kitchen floor. So, wow. I wonder if I put too many sugars in my coffee because it tastes very sweet. I don't know. I want to thank those of you who got in contact with me this week. I believe I got back in touch with almost everybody. I really enjoy hearing from you, and I hope that you take the time and get in contact with me if you have a question or just want to comment about what you think of the show or whatever. I do really enjoy hearing from all of you and, getting to know you in the process. The April and May cow. I posted, was it earlier this week? Did I talk about it last week? Yes, I did talk about it last week. I had a poll for the April and May cow. And what I've decided is that socks are running a very, very close second. The last time I looked, I think we had like 37 for shawls and like 31 for socks. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose 2 shawl patterns and 2 sock patterns for the knit along. And it's going to be 1 paid shawl pattern and 1 free shawl pattern and 1 paid sock pattern and 1 free sock pattern. So you can choose if you want to do the paid one or the free one. Maybe you already have it in your queue, whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just pick them because there's going to be 4 options. If it was only going to be 1 option, I'd like to get the majority rules on that. But because there is going to be 4 options, I thought about doing 4 separate polls. That's going to be too much work. So I'm just going to pick them. I will have them picked probably today or tomorrow. I already have my list of both the socks and the shawls. I just have to go through and decide which paid and which free pattern of each I'm going to do. So I'll have those posted so that you can decide if you want to join in for the knit along. It is going to run for both April and May. Just because it gives you a little bit more time. You don't have to hurry up and rush through it. And it's springtime. People are going to want to start getting outside. So knitting time might be a little less. Although those people in the southern hemisphere, they're starting to get into more wintry weather or fall right now. So maybe their knitting is going to increase. Knit-topia is less than a month away. I'm getting very excited about it. Being away for 11 days at the retreat is going to be absolutely fabulous. I can't wait. And I have already started planning Knit-topia 2013. I posted on both the Knitting Blooms group as well as the Knit-topia group the dates, the tentative dates, which are probably pretty gonna be the dates. I was gonna do it the same time frame that we have this year, but I think I just want to wait till after the 15th of April, because a lot of people wait till the last minute to do their taxes for whatever reason, and this way they can get their stuff done and then they don't have to worry about it at the retreat. So it's going to be the 17th, April 17th through, I think it's the 28th. I can't remember. Go on to the group. I am trying to get an idea of how many people are going to be interested in coming to the retreat. We have weekend spots, midweek spots, and also the entire retreat. And I seriously doubt I'm gonna get the turnout, the number of people wanting to come, like the Knit Girls. But I do want to allow everybody an opportunity to come. So at this moment, what I'm planning on doing is holding back a few spots for a lottery type random number or pick a name from a hat kind of thing. Probably because most people can't plan a year in advance for something like this. And what I'll probably do is hold back some spots for a lottery to be drawn sometime in October or November. But I might go ahead and start taking reservations. Reservations for people who are ready to commit and ready to send their 50% deposit. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that yet. I'm kind of giving it another week or so before I decide. So if you think you might be interested in attending, please post in that thread. You're not committing yourself at this point. I just want to get an idea so I know, should I do a lottery? Should I just take deposits and reserve spots as they come in? I just don't know yet. So check that out. Also, I got my iPad and I love it. The only thing that I don't like right now is that I got this cover, this one that does the flip, that folds up, that you can get from Apple. And I don't like it because it doesn't protect the back of it. Everything I have is in covers, and see, I've had it for not even 24 hours yet, and it's already getting little scratches and stuff on the back. Everything I have, like my Kindle, actually my Kindle's over there now, but I keep in a case that covers the front and the back. So this case covers the front, but it doesn't protect the back. So I've already taken some time and ordered an M-edge cover. In fact, let me just grab my Kindle real quick. Hang on. This is my Kindle cover. Oops, I almost spilled my coffee. This is my Kindle cover, and it's for the new Kindle Touch, and it's really nice. It's got a suede interior, so when it's closed, it doesn't really touch the cover, the face of it, but it protects it. I love it. I actually like the other M-edge cover that I had before that had a little strap on it that I could fold over and set it up and let it stand. But they didn't have that for this new Kindle yet. But this is what I decided I was going to order for my iPad, because it will cover the front and the back. Now, I don't know about the camera, how it's going to, if there's an opening for the camera on the M-edge one or not. I'm not real worried about it, because if I do need to use the camera, I'll just take it out of the case. I mean, there are times when one of the reasons I like this M-edge cover is because I can pop my Kindle out of there pretty easily if I just want to hold it by itself. That's why I like it. I had originally ordered the Kindle cover from Amazon, that it snaps into and has a light and everything, but it doesn't come out very easily. And sometimes I do like to hold my Kindle by itself when it's not in the cover, because these covers weigh a couple of grams, you know, and when you add it all together, it almost sometimes close to doubles the weight of the Kindle. So I like the fact that I can pop it out of there pretty easily and hold it without the cover if I want. So I ordered 2 covers from Edge for the iPad because I wasn't quite sure which one I was going to like better, and oops. And they were like $20, $24, $25, $20 a piece. So I can switch it up and use one and then use the other or whatever. So I'm very excited about my iPad. And I do love it. And it has a beautiful, beautiful screen. And I'm sure that you're not going to be able to see how wonderful it is. The screen is glorious. And a couple weeks ago I talked about the Knit Companion. I downloaded it onto my iPad yesterday. And I absolutely love it. I'm just going to pull up. I put the mystery shawl in here for clue number. Let me see if I can get this to. For clue number 3. And it's wonderful. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I can use the little whoops, pushing buttons. Let's go back. I can use the little button here to advance my row. I love it. This Knit Companion, I bet I'm going to use this a lot. It's wonderful. And they talk about the resolution. Let me go back to what was I on? Was it a website? It's just it's amazing. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but oh my gosh, the crispness of the font when it's blown up big is just incredible. I love it. I'm so glad I got it. I'm so glad that I waited for this version of it. It does have a faster processor. I was sitting this morning, actually I ordered my Edge covers this morning, and I ordered it directly from my iPad, and the speed of the internet on it is fabulous. It's fabulous. It's going to be so nice to just be able to sit in front of the TV, surf the web on it, check clerks. You know, I don't know. I'll probably put my email on it too, although I have it on my phone and my computer. I haven't decided yet. But I have lots of games on it already. I've loaded all of my knitting apps, my Dropbox, my Knit Companion. Most of the games that are on my phone, I've downloaded onto it so far. The things that I haven't put on it are the things, like I use my phone for when I run and walk and whatever to track my distance and that sort of thing. I didn't put any of that on here because I'm not going to be carrying it when I walk. And the phone has the GPS thing on it, so that that tracks me when I'm out walking outside. So yeah, I love it. If you don't have an iPad and you've been thinking about it, you should get one. So I'm really enjoying it so far. And I can only imagine that it will only get better from here. So I was contacted this week by I think her Ravelry name is Jen's Cows. JenZCowz. Her name is Jennifer. And I had mentioned on a previous episode that I like to save videos and put them on my iPad or on my iPod or whatever. And she asked me how I did that. And I use a website called keepvid.com. And what you do is, like, for instance, this video here, this is the Sarah Anderson Navajo Plying. I love this video, but maybe I would need it when I'm away from my computer or I don't have internet access. So what you do, KeepVid is a website, and all you're going to do is you're going to come up here and get the, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but, well, you just get the URL, okay? You copy the URL, and then you go to the KeepVid website. Okay, so here's the KeepVid website, and then there's a box here at the top. And you paste your URL into that box, and then you push the download button over here. Don't push the big red download button, because that's an advertisement. But this little download button that's over here on the side, you push that button, and it will come up and it will tell you, it'll give you your options. Okay, I can't do it on the iPad because there's no Java. I'd have to download that. But it will give you your options down in this list here, right here. It gives you like MP4, different types of things, different resolutions, that sort of thing. And then you just select which one that you want to download. And you push the download button and it downloads into your computer. Now, I can't remember if you get to select where it's going to download, or if it automatically just goes into your download folder, or what exactly. So you'll have to figure that part out on your own, and if it goes to a download folder, then you'll have to find it in your computer. But then I'm able to, on my phone, I can go, because I have a couple of videos on my phone, because sometimes you don't know when you're going to be without service and when you're going to need to look at a video. So let me see, where are my videos? So on my phone right now, I have the cat board eye, oops, don't want to delete that, Jenny Stretchy Bind Off. I have the double helix tutorial because I wanted to knit those double helix socks. I have the Kitchener stitch, and I have a short row heel demo on my phone, and they're all in videos stored on my phone, so that if I am somewhere where I don't have internet, now obviously I have 3G service on my phone, but when I get up to Knit-topia, the cell service is minuscule, and there's no 3G anywhere close to where we are. We got to go into Lexington to get 3G, first of all. We do have some cell service there, but very little. But maybe I'm going to need to look at a video, so I can store it right there on my phone. So that's keepvid.com. Now, it doesn't work with all videos. Most YouTube videos it will work with. I don't think it will work with, like, if you're trying, like, a streaming video for, like, say you're trying to watch a TV program that's on, like, ABC, and they have it on their website and they stream it. I don't think that it works with that. I think it only works with stuff like YouTube, that the file is out there stored on the web somewhere. Now, obviously, that streaming video has the file stored out there. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I just know that whenever I've tried to do a website like that, it doesn't always work. Now, I have never tried, there's a way that you can pop the video out of the web browser and have it in its own little window. I don't know if there's a separate little URL for that. I haven't tried that, so you might want to try that and see how that works. So that's how I save those little tutorial videos if they're not like a podcast. When it's done in a podcast and it automatically downloads to iTunes, those I can just easily put over into videos and save onto my phone. I just don't delete that particular episode of the podcast. So there you go. If you have any other questions about how I do that, just let me know. I'll answer any questions that you have. So, I did not draw the number for the Maids gift certificate yet, because now I have my iPad and I can easily do it. So I'm just going to do it really quick right here. Let me get back into my number generator. Now, I've heard a lot of podcasters talking about not wanting to use the random number generator. Now, I am wondering if it has to do with which app or which website you are using for random number. Because I have an app that seems to be pretty random and it covers, you know, most of the numbers. I did a test last week just on my own. I think I did like 1 through 10. And then I proceeded to draw 15 numbers. And within 13 numbers, I had gotten all of the numbers 1 through 10. And so obviously some were duplicated. And then through 15, there were still some duplications. But I think within 13 numbers, I got all the numbers 1 through 10. And then yesterday, I did it again with numbers 1 through 73. I can't remember why I did 1 through 73. I think I just wanted a higher number. And then I drew 100 numbers. Now, in that 100 numbers, I got duplicates. And there were some numbers that were not picked at all. But there was only 10 numbers that weren't picked. So, really, I don't know. I'm going to continue to use the random number generator because it is a random number generator. And I don't really want to be cutting up pieces of paper every week. So, I hope everybody's okay with the random number generator. I'll put a link to the number, now I've got something on the front of this iPad. I'll put a link to the number generator that I use. I'm pretty sure that it was a paid app, but I think it was like either 99 cents or $1.99. And I think that Diane from the Knittables uses the same number generator because I saw it on her podcast because I liked the way that the numbers showed up. Now, this isn't the number that I'm generating, but I want to show you what it looks like. See how the 14 is so big? So I liked that the number was big, that you could see it, because sometimes some of the podcasts, they show the number generator and the number is so tiny. It's like, well, I can't even see the number. You're putting it up to the screen, but I mean, they don't know that you can't see it until they go back and look at the later footage. But I liked this one because it had a big number. So let's draw for the $15 off your order for Maids. And there was 66 people in the thread this week. And I'm going to click generate. And it's number 42, which is on page number 2. 42 is The Yarn Goes On. And let's see if she has a name on there. And her name is Lisa Marie, and she's from Katy, Texas. So, The Yarn Goes On. Congratulations. You are the winner of the $15 off your order this week. Just writing it down. And I have to get have to get used to. On the on my MacBook, I can swipe back for pages. It doesn't work that way on here. And she just writes that she'd be so happy to win. I don't know if she's ever tried Maids before, but Lisa Marie, if you haven't, you are going to really enjoy this product. It is fabulous. I will be setting up another thread for another $15 off your order when I'm done recording. So get ready for another drawing next week. And I don't think I need this anymore right now. So that's all of that. Now we can actually get into knitting. And I'm going to start with spinning because it's on top. I am still spinning the Giggle Jelly. This is what I'm spinning from my mom. Oops, I did bring my bobbin over too. Here's the bobbin. And here is the thread that I'm spinning up. Last week I told you that I thought I was over an ounce that I had spun. I wasn't even close. Well, I was sort of close. I still had 1/4 of an ounce to go in order to get to an ounce. I am past an ounce now. I think I've spun 1.5 ounces now. But it is slow going. I mean, when you're spinning this thin, it takes a long time. It's not a quick process, because I do like to take my time with it, and I don't want to rush through it. I know I have 12 ounces of this stuff, so I know it's going to take a while. And I don't want to rush. I don't want to rush through it. So I am taking my time and slowing down and checking my card, which is right here on my lap. I was looking for it. I'm like, what did I do with that? I keep checking my card. This is my single that I did right at the beginning, and this is the 3-ply test that I did. I did not bring over the little piece that I have separate, but I'm really enjoying it. It does take a long time to do, but I expect it to, and I'm spinning, so I don't really care that it takes a long time. I guess I am a process knitter and spinner, but I also like the finished object. But I'm not one to rush through something or to not pay attention to mistakes if just to get it done quicker, you know. I know there's sometimes that I make a mistake on something like the Bacardi. There was a couple mistakeifications on that. Some of which I knew ahead of time and I could have gone back and fixed, but they were such minor things that I didn't care too much that they were in there. But something like this, I don't want to rush through it because I want it to be right, because really, once you spin it, you can't go back and refix it. So you might as well just take the time and do it correctly the first time, and then it'll be wonderful in the end. So that's my spinning. I have not done any more on the Fat Cat Knits. I have thought about it this week. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit up that sample skein that I did, where I took the one strand of the color and 2 strands of the natural. I think I'm going to knit up a bit of that into my sock yarn blanket and make sure that I like the look of it as knitting before I decide to go forward with that. I think I will, but I'm also thinking that I really don't know what I would do with that much yardage of that type of yarn. So, because that would be like 18 ounces because I have 6 ounces of the fat cats, which means I have to do 12 ounces of natural to be plied with it, which means that's going to be 18 ounces of fiber. And that's a lot of yardage. And I don't really think that I'm going to be knitting something like Even Star or something like that with it. Now, who knows? Maybe I'll try and do a little bit of a lace knitting type thing and see how it goes, because it will be very long repeats because there will be no color. It'll be white with one color, so the repeats will be fairly long. So we'll see. I don't know what I'll do. I think I'll play with that test skein first before I decide to move forward with that. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to apply it with natural. I just don't know if it's going to be 2 strands of natural or 1 strand of natural or what exactly. But my focus right now is going to be on the Giggle Jelly, because I would like to get that first 4 ounces completed before I leave for Knit-topia, so I can get started on the second 4 ounces, either before I get there or during Knit-topia. It's going to be quite a long project. Okay, so let's talk about knitting. I said I wasn't going to talk about knitting for hire until it was done, but I'm very excited about this project. This is the Bateau-Mouche shawl, and I am almost done. I think I have 11 or 12 grams left, and I have to save, I think, 3 grams for the bind off, because I have been powering through this week. I just want it to be done. And I figured I was going to start one of the other knitting for hires, one of the sweaters. But I thought, you know what, if I could just power through this, I could get this done this week, and then I'll have the other 3 to go. But those sweaters are going to be fairly quickly. I'm guessing I can get a sweater done in less than a week. And then the 2 berets. The 1 beret is almost done. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about this, only because I forgot to mention last week about my lifelines. You will see that I am, in fact, using my signature needles. And as we all know, the signature needles do not have that little the little hole in the needle. That little hole right there, that you can thread a piece of this like crochet cotton or whatever it is through the hole, and then when you knit across your next row, it automatically puts that thread in there. That is the easiest way to put in a lifeline. I don't have those holes on my signature needles, but what I have been doing is when I pick up the project for the day, I pick up my knit picks. I thread it with the little thread, the crochet cotton here, and I knit across with my knit picks needles. And then when I get across, I pull my string so that I have enough on each side, and then I pick up my signatures and then I knit the next row. So it makes putting those lifelines in so much easier. There's a heck of a lot of stitches on here. I have no idea how many stitches are on here. Let me show you the other side where you can see actually how much I've done. So here's my Dicky-Do, and here is how much I've done this week. And my rows are getting longer and longer and longer, and they're all bunched up because I only have it on a 24-inch cable. I don't like to move my stitches very far, so I like a shorter cable. Although I did find on the beret that a shorter cable with lots of stitches, not always the best, because sometimes they get too scrunched up on there, and then it's harder to move them around, especially when you're knitting in the round. Anyway, so I have no idea how wide this is going to be right now because I just keep increasing and keep going because the pattern just says keep increasing until you have about 12 yards left, which I figured was about 2 grams, but I'm going to knit till I have 3 grams left just to be safe. I'm pretty sure that I'm using about I think it's about a gram, no, I'm sorry, about a half a gram per row at this point. So my guess is that this will be done either today or tomorrow because I'm going to power through it and be done with it. I just want it done. It's not a very exciting thing to knit. It's easy to do, and I don't have to think about it, but I just want to move on to something else, something more exciting. So this will definitely be done either today or tomorrow at the very latest. And you might be asking, why am I putting lifelines in here? And the reason is because that this yarn, although it is, I think, it is alpaca, I think. Yeah, it's alpaca. And you would think that it would be kind of sticky and that your stitches wouldn't drop if you happen to miss a stitch. But these lifelines have saved me more than once. Because as I'm knitting along, if I happen to not be paying attention and to drop a stitch or to get distracted, because sometimes when I'm pushing the stitches up onto my needle, sometimes I push a little too hard and they start popping off the other end. It has been known to happen. I've been able to catch my stitch. And having it drop down 5 or 6 rows to the lifeline, if that's the case, I can easily pick it up and ladder it back up again. But if I were to drop a stitch and it would ladder down, it would not be fun. 5 or 6 rows I can handle. But boy, if you dropped a stitch and you didn't notice it and it started laddering down because you just tug on this a little bit and those stitches are going to go zzz. You know how like a pantyhose runs? This is what this does. So yeah, and I thought about this right from the beginning. I think I might have only knit maybe 15 rows before I started putting in my lifelines. I did knit a few rows, probably more than that maybe. But I did start putting lifelines in right from the beginning because I could tell that they were very slippery, which is why the stitches were very slippery, which is why I'm using my signatures. I was using my knit picks at the beginning, but I was really nervous that I was going to start slipping things right off of them very easily. So that's why I did switch to my signatures, because they do have a little bit of a grip, a little bit more of a grip than the knit picks, which for this project is a good thing. And I have my project in a plastic bag and then in my project bag because I just felt like I didn't want anything to snag on it. I don't know why I did that, but it just seemed like the right thing to do. It just felt like when I was shoving my stuff in and out of the project bag, it just felt sticky, and I didn't want to get the yarn all frayed or anything like that. So that project will be done this week. I'm not sure if I'm going to block these projects for her before I send them, because my blocking room is currently my Knit-topia room. And what I mean by that is that I'm collecting all the stuff for Knit-topia in that room, and it's getting quite full. Because I used to keep it down here in the basement in bins, and I just really like how my basement is set up right now, and I didn't want to clutter it up with stuff. So we don't use that spare bedroom very often, so I decided that was going to be my Knit-topia room, and that's where I was going to collect all the prizes and donations and what have you. And I have bins in there, and everything's being sorted as it comes in, and it's not suitable for blocking at this point. I also mentioned that I was working on the beret for Knitting for Hire. This one's almost done as well. I started the second ball of yarn. I'll just give you a quick splash of how much I've done this week. That much. I don't know if you'll be able to see the increases and decreases. There's the increases, and then I've started the decreases over here. So that's coming along. That probably will be done this weekend as well, because these rows are getting shorter and shorter, and I think I only have maybe 8 more rows before I'm decreasing every row, so it'll go really quick after that. It's going quick now. My guess is that this will probably be done. If I am able to knit for the rest of the day like I really want to do, this will probably be done, and that other Knitting for Hire will be done, and then tomorrow I can start another project. Okay, March Madness. I am making progress on this as well. I actually made more progress on my projects this week than I really thought that I would. So, let me show you. Last week, this was the sock that I was working on. I kept thinking last week after I podcasted and that I was being unrealistic, thinking that I could get all these Knitting for Hires and the March Madness and the March Mystery Shawl done. But things are looking better this week, and I might possibly be able to do all of it. So here is my Hermione's Everyday socks. This is where I was last week, and I've only done this much on this sock. But it is going very quickly. And this is the second sock, because I had not started the pattern on this sock, and I'm not going to even worry about the fact that this is all tangled up. I had not even started this sock. Well, I had started the toe. Last week I had to rip back to get back to the right number of stitches before I started the texture. But then when I ripped back and got that back on the needles, I just kept working on this sock, and then go, and now I'm at the point for my heel. My goal was to get to 1 heel this week, but I was able to get close. I still have a few inches to go to get to the heel on this sock. But my goal for this week will be to get to the heel on this, do both heels, and get started up the leg for next week. Because I have to have a goal. If I'm going to meet certain deadlines, I have to make specific goals. And usually I make goals in such a way that it seems extreme, and I really don't need to do as much as I think I need to do in order to get a project done in a specific time, but then I always finish early, so that's always fun. So this is the Hermione Everyday sock, and even though this is not self-striping yarn, and I meant to bring some other socks in here to show you, you'll see the patterning. This is the bottom of the sock. Okay, you can see the colors in the front, but you can definitely see it a lot better in the back. And even though this is not a self-striping sock, I'm going to do my heel with the other end of the ball. I'm going to leave this end here and then pick up the other end of the ball to knit my heel. And this is why. And I will try to remember for next week to show you another pair. Because I have found that when I do the heel back and forth using the same yarn that's attached to my project, and then I start knitting in the round again, the patterning changes. And if I like the way that the foot is patterning, I want to keep it the same way all the way up the leg. I'm just kind of anal that way. Because some of my other socks, I liked the way the foot was patterning, and then when I started doing the heel and then going back in the round, it changed the patterning a bit. Not that it's a big deal. Most people wouldn't even notice it unless it was pointed out to them. I just like it to look the same. Exactly why I like my stripes to be the same all the way up. So when I go to do this heel, I will pull the other end of the ball from around the outside and work the heel with that. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. You will notice that the back of these socks look very similar, because I paid very close attention when I started each sock. I made sure that I was almost in the same exact spot on when I put my slip knot in. Again, I'm anal that way. Most people are just like cast on and go. I don't know. I'm just crazy. But they're coming right along. Like I said, they're coming along a lot quicker than I expected them to. The pattern is fabulous. And I'm really enjoying doing them. I don't have to think about it. I can just go, and it goes very quickly. So that will get worked on. I also already mentioned that clue number 3 came out, and I was worried that I was going to be falling behind on the mystery knit along. I'm using Maids in the Versace colorway. It's just a blue. It's pretty blue. But I finished clue number 1 and clue number 2. And it looks like spaghetti. Lace never looks like much of anything until you block it. I'm going to try. If you don't want to see the patterning and you don't want to be spoiled, but obviously I think that if you're knitting this, you probably have already gotten to clue number 1. But it's just really hard to see what it's looking like. It looks very cool. The patterning on the wrong side rows were much easier than I had anticipated, and it's moving right along. Like I said, I downloaded clue number 3 to the iPad yesterday and imported it into Knit Companion, and have already, just checking to make sure I don't have any mistakes, and have already set up the chart for clue number 3. What I did forget to do when I was working my last row of clue number 2 is I forgot to put a lifeline in there. So I'm going to have to manually put it in there with a needle, because I like it to be on the last row of the chart versus the first row. Now I could just put it in when I start my row 1 of clue 3, but I think I'm going to just manually put it in there for this one, because I was so excited. The reason I forgot is I was so excited that I was actually finishing the clue that I forgot to put in the lifeline. And you'll see there's my dicky-doo. So I did that much of it this week. And the boss is on vacation until Tuesday, so I have 2 more days of knitting. Although it's very possible we could get extremely busy in the next couple of days, because we had some really bad weather come through here on Thursday night. And an area to the west of us called Dexter got hit really hard with some, at least one tornado. I think that there might have been 2. but there's some major damage out there. And we are a contractor that does insurance repair. So our guys were out there yesterday. We were doing board ups and temps, and just the devastation is unbelievable. So we will likely be busy trying to get those things taken care of, and get those people back in their homes and everything. So my heart really goes out to them. Luckily, when I was looking at the news yesterday, there was no fatalities, and I don't think there was any major injuries or anything like that. So that is fabulous that that kind of devastation can happen, but there's no deaths or major injuries. So I'm glad about that. But it was just amazing. I didn't know anything about it. I was on my way home Thursday, and I got the public service announcement on the radio, and it looked like the weather was getting bad, but it didn't look so bad. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking they're calling for severe thunderstorms, so I'm thinking that the power might end up going out or something. And I'm waiting all night long. I'm waiting for some bad weather to come through, and we've had bad weather, but not Thursday. We didn't have anything on Thursday. And so I'm thinking, it was a bunch of hype, from the news, because they always do that. They hype everything up, to get people, paying attention, and then nothing happens. So that's kind of what I thought, and I got to work on Friday, and one of the guys was in the office, and he says, well, it's been pretty quiet here so far. And I'm like, yeah, it's been quiet here for 3 weeks. And then he's like, have you looked at the news this morning? And I said, no. He's like, I think you need to look at the news. So we got on the internet and saw some of the videos and pictures and stuff of the devastation. I had no idea. No clue, because I didn't watch the news. I don't typically watch regular TV. If I'm watching a show from regular TV, I'm usually watching it on the internet, or we've DVR'd it and I fast forward. And usually it's not until 3 or 4 days later anyway. So I didn't even know. And my husband didn't know either. After I saw the news and looked at some of the videos online, I called him up and I said, have you seen the news? He's like, no, I guess they weren't even talking about it at work, which is amazing because it was crazy. Although in our industry, the guys know it because we get called all the time. Anyway, so those are the whips for this week, and let me talk about my enabling. Last week I told you I was going to the yarn shop after I recorded, and I did. And I didn't go to one, but 2 yarn shops. I told you that my husband wanted to go to the spinning shop. He is working on an e-spinner for me, and we needed a whirl and a drive belt. So he wanted to go up and pick that up, so we did that, and of course I had to buy some yarn, and this is what I bought. This is Jagger Spun wool and silk, 50% wool, 50% silk in the magenta colorway. I saw a lace shawl made with this yarn, and it was beautiful. And they basically told me I could buy it by the ounce or buy the entire cone. And the price difference to buy it by the ounce was I think $1 more to buy it by the ounce versus buying it by the cone. And I think so I would have saved $8 by doing it that way. So I bought the whole cone. I think it was $40 or something to that effect. I have more than enough yarn here. I probably could knit 2 shawls with this. But it was so pretty, and I decided I had to have it. So that's what I got at the first store. I got this. We got a whirl, a shocked high-speed whirl, because we needed that for the e-spinner. And we got the drive band, the Ladybug drive band that you can cut and reseal. So that's what we got at that first store. And then we were on our way home, and I'm like, I think I might go down to Unique Knits today. And we were like almost home, and I figured I would drop my husband off at home, and then I would go down there. He's like, well, do you want to go now? And I'm like, you want to go with me? He's like, sure, why not? So he came to 2 yarn stores with me. Actually, I went to the first one with him, and then he came to the second one with me. And this is what I got at that store. I got some Spud and Chloe. This is by Blue Sky Alpaca, Spud and Chloe Fine Sock. And I got 2 skeins. And it is 80% superwash wool, 20% silk. It's 65 grams per each skein. So plenty to do a sock. It's like, let's see, 248 yards per skein. And I was thinking I would do socks with it. But now I'm kind of thinking maybe I will do a shawl, because it is pretty and beautiful. I don't know. It will definitely be more than enough for socks, and I will definitely have some left over, because usually you need about 100 grams for socks, and I always have a ton left over. So I'm thinking maybe I might do a shawl with this, because it's close to 500 yards. So it would be more than enough. And then I also bought a new project bag. These are done by Lantern Moon, and look at this. Look, oops. Better put that back where I'm going to remember it. Look at the little sheep. They are embroidered. All those are all little French knots, or whatever they're called. I love it. They're so cute. I saw this at the first store as well. I don't think they had a pink one. They had a turquoise one and an orange one. And then at Unique Knits, they had the pink one. So I had to get it. And it's a good size project bag. There's see the bottom. It's a good size project bag. Definitely could fit a shawl, a baby sweater. I mean, it's bigger than a sock bag. Here's one of my sock bags. So it's definitely bigger than a sock bag. It's like almost twice as big as a sock bag. So that was fun. And then I bought something that I have been thinking about buying forever. I think I've looked at online about 16 zillion times. I looked at it at Stitches Midwest, and I just, every time I picked it up, I said, I have no idea what I'm going to make with that. But I finally decided to buy it. It is one of the Zauberballs. And I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, Zauberball. And it's the pink and the green. I've been looking at this forever. It is a single, and that is one of the reasons why I haven't bought it before now. Because it's a single, and I don't particularly like singles. However, this citron is made with a single of Malabrigo. And I really like how that came out. So I'm thinking I'm going to make either another citron with this or something similar to show that color variation. I've seen so many shawls made with this colorway, with this yarn, and I think it is going to be beautiful. So I just need to do it. So those are my stash enhancements this week. I had not planned on buying anything, but I needed to give my local yarn store some love, because I haven't been there in a while. Anyway, charities this week, still the same ones from last week. They're all posted on the web, but I also want to, I'm adding one this week, and that's the Remembering Raimi. And I am going to do some hats for this, not until April. I'm going to, I think they're running, it's like the 95 days that she was alive. They're doing hats for 95 days. So I am planning on doing some hats for this and getting those sent off. I will be doing them in April. I have lots of sock yarn, so I will be using some of my sock yarn and the scraps that I have from my leftover socks. And I will be getting those in the mail this week, or not this week. I'm going to start them in April. I'm going to try and do at least 2 or 3 of them, and then I want to do some other preemie hats for some other charities as well. And I think that's it. That's all I have for you this week. So look for the post on the April and May knit along for the socks and the shawl patterns that we will be doing for April and May. And again, thanks for tuning in and checking out the show. If you watch on iTunes, can you go and do a star rating or a comment if you would do that for your podcasts? That really bumps everybody up into the in the list, because those woodworkers, we need to bump them down. I think the reason that the woodworkers are up so high is because their episodes are like 12 minutes or less, and most of us knitting podcasters are an hour. So that could be part of the problem. Anyway, I hope to post a spinning tutorial if I get motivated this afternoon or tomorrow. I might try and do a spinning tutorial. Actually, probably won't this week. I want to make some notes on some things that I want to say, because if I don't have notes, I'm going to forget things to tell you. So maybe I'll spend some time today or tomorrow writing some notes on things I want to talk about, and maybe sometime during the week or next weekend I will record a drop spindle tutorial and get that posted. I'd like to start doing more tutorials and post them midweek or so, because everybody seems to like the tutorials, so I want to get more out there. So if you have a specific tutorial that you'd like me to do, get in contact with me on the blog or on Ravelry or wherever, and let me know what you'd like to see. So that's all for now, and I will talk to you next week. Hope your knitting blooms. Bye!